Окей.
Oh, no,
Что?
it's to the right, my mistake.
В смысле? Что
How
это за
was he
наркомания
remaining so
такая?
lucid?
Привет, привет, с вами Элисон, Дакота. Это опять-таки игра The Stanley Parable. Давайте начнем новую игру и посмотрим, какие еще интересные двери мы можем открыть сегодня.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Давайте пропустим это. Так, я не...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Что произошло?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Давайте пойдем сюда.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Давайте пойдем вот сюда. Посмотрим, что здесь. Как-то странно началась игра.
But
Не
Stanley
знаю,
didn't
что
want to
это
go
было.
back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go
Все закрыто.
from here. It's left.
Окей.
Oh no,
Что?
it's to the right. My mistake.
В смысле? Сюда?
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Ну, спасибо, что наконец-то определились. Пойдемте вот сюда.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all
Понятно.
rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the
Хорошо.
top.
Итак, игра начинается сначала. Нам проспойлерили, что должно случиться, да, в конце. Так, мы опять у себя в
All
кабинете
of his
появились.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
Ой,
missed a memo.
простите. О, господи. Я немного...
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Что это?
No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Можно пойти куда захочу? Превосходно. Давайте пойдем вот сюда. Отлично. Какой-то лабиринт. Да? Интересно, куда мы выйдем.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Опять нам запустили игру с самого начала. Опять мы в этом же кабинете.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Окей. Идемте. Теперь совсем нет двери, да?
It's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Вернуться назад? Ну, давайте вернемся назад. Посмотрим, что мы могли пропустить. Вряд ли, конечно. Здесь ведь все было закрыто, так же? Или нет?
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story.
Что?
Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Оба. Этого здесь не было.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the
Что это
story?
такое?
I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Good job.
Oh,
Спасибо.
No, I don't feel right about this at all.
No.
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Опять. Снова. Снова мы начинаем сначала. Серьезно?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Этого поворота здесь не было никогда. Ну, давайте посмотрим. Ой, простите.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize.
Простите.
Not sure where I was going with all that.
Но по стене я ходить
I
не
think
хочу.
what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
О, Господи. Что это такое?
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
Нет, мне музыка такая не нравится, спасибо.
Wait, what? We're back at the office?
Что?
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Что происходит?
No, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Отлично. Превосходно. Опять? Опять идти по линии? Отлично.
You know what, Stanley?
Что?
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh,
Давай.
this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Окей. Давайте посмотрим, что здесь.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything.
Да,
What do
очень
you want our story
увлекательно.
to be? Go wild. Use
Чувствую,
your
что я хожу
imagination.
по
Whatever
кругу.
it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Ой,
Ah, a choice.
отлично.
We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Ура, нам открыли дверь.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
Что это?
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
И что мне
And
делать
the
тогда?
timer stopped? Does that mean, did we
Что?
do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Никто не придет за нами.
So, okay.
Выпусти меня, эй!
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you do
О,
happen to have a...
Господи. Что происходит? Что за бред? Почему просто нельзя? Что? Мы опять здесь? Мы опять в нашем офисе. В нашем кабинете ничего нового не появилось.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Отлично, пойдемте. Прямо.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Давайте опять пойдем сюда.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee
посмотрим,
lounge
что
first,
будет.
just to admire it.
Давайте посмотрим, что будет.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Посмотрим, что будет, если мы пойдем на правильный путь, да?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Ага, мы вышли вот сюда прямо.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Отлично. Давайте пойдем вот сюда вниз.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Мы, кстати, спускались сюда или нет? Я что-то не помню.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Серьезно? Нет, ты не окей.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
О, Господи. Это жесть.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Понятно. Стэнли сошел с ума и умер где-то, да? Или что это такое? Мы сейчас начнем сначала, да? Класс. Короче, я предлагаю на этом закончить. Вот такие у нас сегодня были приключения в офисе Стэнли. Если хотите посмотреть другие пути, которыми мы можем пройти, ставьте лайки этому видео, оставляйте комментарии, пишите. Мы хотим продолжения. И я обязательно сделаю видео по этой игре еще. Что ж, спасибо за просмотр. С вами была Элисон, Дакота. Ставьте лайки этому видео, оставляйте свои комментарии и до новых встреч. Пока-пока!